Good morning, good afternoon, and good day to all. Welcome to another edition of Homie Picks Thanksgiving weekend. Homie Picks Week 13. It's me, Lou, me, Perfect Lou, and Ben. Fellas, how y'all doing?
I don't know. I need one of those Mr. Perfect belts right here, like just to carry it.
Well, not
My
as good
God,
as Lou there, but we're living, we're living.
we may not be living as perfect as Lou is right now. Although his Giants plan of tanking is going to perfection.
Perfectly. Yes, it's perfectly.
We might have to get you some intro music, like Mr. Perfect. I don't know. Um, Paul, work on that one. But before we can even talk about the games or even talk about football on Thursday and Friday, um, how was y'all Thanksgiving?
It was good. It was good. I managed to go back to New York and then shoot back home. So it was very long-winded.
Yeah, same. It was good, spent time with the family, my mom's, my niece. So it was good. It was fun. No
Awesome.
complaints.
Yeah, I did some community work. It was beautiful. It was good to be out there in the community, helping people, making people smile, and bringing some joy to people. On Thanksgiving. Even though you can talk about the origins of Thanksgiving, but how our modern day era interpretation of it is now, it's about giving back and giving thanks to what you're appreciative of. And I think it was, I think I had a good day for doing that. It's the holiday season, so there's also there's food, there's shopping month long. Thank God we all did retail. We've done the Black Friday and that shit was trash. And now it's all month long, so you can do your deals online. You ain't got to wait to Cyber Monday. You can watch football on Thursday as traditional, Thursday and Sunday, but now you have football on Friday, thanks to Amazon. So we found the Raiders having a new way of finding a new loss. um, Raiders, two times this year they've gone against KC. Both times they've had the game, and both times they blew it in the end. That's rough. That's rough. I mean, what can we say about KC? They're the luckiest, best team in the NFL right now.
That pretty much sums it up. They got the best luck in the NFL
And
this year.
they just keep winning. They keep finding that way,
Not as lucky
ridiculous
as
as
your
it
Bears,
means.
though. Not as lucky as your Bears.
Woo! And the Bears also find new ways. As much as the Chiefs find new ways to win, and the Raiders may find new ways to lose against the Chiefs, nobody finds more ways to lose than the Bears. I mean, I know Lou, you said that about the Giants around like week 5, week 6. Bears said, "Hold our beer, hold that Chicago
Seriously.
original beer," because Lord of mercy, they find the most innovative ways to lose games.
That's that was horrible that I saw that finish. I was like, what are they thinking? Like, you had a
You know what?
timeout.
I think everybody in the world was yelling timeout except for the Bears.
But you know what? I said this laughingly. I should have had a straight face because I see nothing wrong. I saw nothing wrong. Word to the
That's what
coach.
that's where he's going to. They saw nothing wrong letting him go.
Yeah. The ownership let him take that timeout. Like, go take that timeout now.
Like,
So
that was bad. That was
it was
bad.
horrible. It was flat horrible, But Lions got away with that game. I think we all kind of knew Green Bay was going to win that game.
Oh yeah.
Cowboys decided to show some life, but it really wasn't like it was showing life. They just,
No, it was the
they just
Giants.
had Bo Nix or whatever the hell this guy. No, about that. Not Bo Nix.
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock. There you go. It was a former Bronco. So they all look the same to me at this point. But yeah, it was pretty unfortunate. Giants did. I was hoping the Giants were going to keep the Cowboys' home loss streak alive for this year, but hey, I guess they were thankful. So I guess the Cowboys were thankful. But going on to Sunday, we're going to start off with Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Currently, see Cincinnati is a 2.5 point favorite 162 money line favorite, 47.5 over under. Now, Cincy has been a pretty pedestrian team against a fairly good record and good Pittsburgh Steelers team this year. Mr. Perfect, how do you see this one going?
I mean, it's the holiday season. Normally, I put my face on Macaulay Culkin, but not this week. I think I'm gonna roll with the Steelers on this. Like you said, the Bengals are probably one of the better teams on paper, and they're not showing it on the field. Outside of Jamar Chase doing what he does, the teams are willing to let Jamar Chase run crazy as long as it contains everyone else. And I think Pittsburgh is rolling here. I think Wilson likes the underdog theme that he has going this whole last 2 years. He's been bouncing around the NFL, but I gotta go with Pittsburgh. I think they're gelling at the right time, and my money's always on TJ Watt.
Benny?
Yeah, like Lou said, I mean, Cincy, Burrow's playing fantastic. Like you can't really blame it on him, but that defense is so porous. They just can't stop anybody. They try to get back into the game, and that defense finds a way to lose it. So yeah, I'm gonna also lean with Pittsburgh. I like Cincy's offense to a point, but you need to make stops. And the way Pittsburgh does it, they're gonna muddy up that game. It's gonna be a defensive battle, so it's not gonna be that high scoring. And just overall, Pittsburgh, I believe, has the winning record over Cincy, so I'll go with that as well. So I know Russ has been struggling a little bit lately, but I mean that's to be expected. But I think they'll have just enough points, and I'll take Pitt.
Yeah, on paper, Pittsburgh is a better team this year. Yeah, absolutely. Jamar Chase is running shop. I mean, it's a shock at this point. He doesn't have 10,000 yards in this one season so far, the way he's been running. Well, running after the catch. Um, you know, uh, Burrow has been really good, but then he's also been really bad at times too. But it feels like outside of those two, really is nothing there. Cincinnati's defense has not been non-existent too. Uh, you know, and I liken this just to think back to when it was Cincinnati, Baltimore, when both teams forgot defense was an actual thing. And it was what, high 30s, almost 40s. Actually, Baltimore did score 41. So high 30s. And then the next week, it was against Pittsburgh, and you saw Pittsburgh make, as I said before, Pittsburgh makes you play their game. It's not going to be a crazy wild score kind of game. That's not what they do, and they make nobody break their trend. So it's going to be another grind out kind of game. And because of that,
Uh-oh.
I can't say this with this hat on. Pittsburgh, I had to go with Pittsburgh on this one also. I would hope for Cincinnati to win this game. I would hope to be wrong. All of us to be wrong in this choice, but
Just ends in a tie.
I think starting out this week 13, I can't be dishonest to myself and say that I want to go with Cincinnati just because I just don't like Pittsburgh that much. Pittsburgh is a better team. Yes, Russ has been struggling and so forth, but Najee, even though he hasn't been all that stellar either, but Pittsburgh does what they do. If Pickens is not fighting with everybody in the crowd or in the stands, Pittsburgh can even score about 30 points, but you're gonna get a penalty yard just for trying to knock everybody the fuck out. But yeah, they have that fight. Just keep the fight on the field. Winning and scoring and not fighting others and stuff like that. But Pittsburgh is a better team. I can't deny that. Even going into this week, you know who's who at this point. And Cincinnati's they may have a shot of a wild card berth, but this ain't the week. This ain't the week for them though. Moving to game 2. You got Arizona, Minnesota. Minnesota, 3.5-point favorite, 176 money line favorite, and 44.5 over under. Ben, what's up? How you see this?
This one, it's a little tough. Eh, Little Kyler Murray's feet running around gets me nervous. Vikings defense hasn't been like it started. It was more of a lockdown defense, but now you can score on them a bit. I want to say Arizona again, but Kyler, they're just like so inconsistent sometimes as well. I'm gonna have to go with the Vikings here. I think they'll probably just score just enough. They'll try and make the game ugly. Um, but right now I just really don't trust the Vikings offensively too much. They've been struggling, and just Sona's inconsistency just really so it leaves it a flip in the air for me. So I'll just lean towards a little bit towards the more established coach. So I'll go with Minnie.
Nope.
He's no longer a Giant, but he's sitting on Minnesota's bench. I got to rock with Minnie. I think this might be the game we see Daniel Jones. I think Minnesota signing him pretty much tells every the world that they're not re-signing Sam Darnold. He's not going to be back. And I think Minnesota's way too good. And Arizona is just so inconsistent with it. Time after time, they have a good game, but they don't put a complete game together. And it's double XP weekend for Call of Duty. So Kyler Murray is do that with what you want. It's double XP weekend, people.
I was going to ask that question. I was going to ask that question. Man, that just kind of, that changed my perception of the game now. Because I was going to say Cardinals, but you just threw that one out there. Ah, man. Kyler's not me focused on this game. Ah, man. Maybe Marvin Harris? Nah, he can't do much about that one either. Damn. All right. Because Minnesota has been playing kind of lately.
Right.
But is it enough to where double XP weekend is going to supersede this though? Look, you only can go as far as your engine. Defensively, Arizona doesn't really have much of an engine. They're decent. Hell, they did what they had to do against the 49ers. But you also got to remember who was playing on that 49ers team. Minnesota, by record, is a better team. And they play like it too. Honestly, if you don't have an answer for Justin Jefferson, consider the game over in the second quarter. I think Arizona can keep it close. So much so that they can probably get a last second field goal out of it. But as you said, Kyler plays up and down. And honestly, he does overcompensate for his height. At times you can see that, like, he struggles to see downfield at times. The career he's had so far is far exceeded, I think, what most people think at this point because of, the average height of a quarterback and seeing over stuff and so forth. Like, he's done a very phenomenal job for what he's had so far. But you got some big dudes in Minnesota. Pause. But but they're going to be gunning for him. And I for that alone, I think Arizona could keep it close. Justin Jefferson is going to be a problem for that team defensively, and Kyler may not be focused fully in the game also. So I think, man, we're back-to-back games are going to go all the same team, Minnesota all the way on this one. Damn. Maybe we can break some trends for the next game, though, because we got the Chargers and the Falcons. The Chargers are 1.5-point favorite, 118 money line, 47.5 over under. Well, we did see what the Chargers could do on Monday Night Football. Shout out to my Ravens. Lamar still not lost on Monday night. Crazy stat. Let me knock on wood. But we did see. We all got a chance to see what the Chargers. Because I remember I said before, I don't know how the hell the Chargers record is what it is because I don't think they're that. I never thought they were that good. And defensively, they are good. Offensively, it's not Herbert's fault. Always. I'll say that. It's not his fault always. Because he can get the ball out, but his receivers got to catch it. And that's something that for the past 2 or 3 years, Quentin Johnston's problem has been not catching the ball. I remember I've been roasting him about this for the past couple of years because on this same team, no matter who the quarterback is, whether Herbert's in or out the lineup, Johnston can't catch. I don't know how you're a wide receiver, you can't catch. You need to be on defense if that's the case. Atlanta, on the other hand, does have some people who can actually catch the ball. They have a running back who can run. Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. You know, it is what it is. Defensively, they've been doing a nice job, though. Atlanta has been one of the surprise teams for me this year because I thought they would have been horrible and they've been actually pretty decent. Coming from the West Coast on a short week at that, to the East Coast, with Thanksgiving in the middle of that too, I'm kind of going to go with the home team on this one. I think they have the advantage on this one. So I'm going to say Atlanta pulls this one out, you know, probably a last second field goal just to cap it off. Lou, how you see it?
I'm inclined to agree with you. I mean, I think Atlanta has way too many offensive weapons. I think if they follow the game plan Baltimore did last week against the Chargers, they got a pretty decent chance of beating them here. I don't trust I'm gonna say San Diego. I don't trust the LA Chargers running attack. I really don't. I mean, Herbert has done good, but he hasn't really thrown to any big marquee players. Quentin Johnson is always up in the air to have a good game, bad game. So inconsistent, like you said. I don't trust him for nothing in the world. So BJ Robinson on the heavy dose of him this weekend, and Atlanta takes a dub.
I almost called him San Diego a few times, so I feel you. Get over it. Ben.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go the opposite of you guys on this one. I think the Chargers pull this one off just because of their defense and just because Kirk has had a very up and down year. He's good in one game, he's mediocre in the next. Maybe he's not 100% healed with that Achilles. And I think the Chargers can't get pressure to him, which, he really right now he's not that mobile, so that really would hurt them. And just Atlanta, I don't know, they're also very mystifying with their offense. Like they have pieces, but sometimes they just don't use them how you would think they would. So I have more trust in Harbaugh. He's a more experienced coach, the better coach. And Herbert's the better QB. Granted, limited amount of weapons. Like you said, Quentin Johnson was basically a bust. And this year they're utilizing him like a number one. So that's how low they are on wide receivers. So giving all that still, I feel like the Chargers, like again, I think that defense is really what's going to keep them in there and they'll score just enough. I'll take the Chargers.
All right. Finally got someone to break the break it. Yeah, if somebody said, "Oh my God, can you catch my baby?" As the baby's falling out of a tree, Quentin Johnson's not the man you want to catch that baby. Houston, Jacksonville. The game that Ben hosts is just a freaking tie. Just have a tie. I know that. However, 3.5 point favorite are the Texans. 188 money line, 44.5 over under. Other than asking for a tie, Ben, how do you see this one going?
Well, I mean, realistically, Houston should win this game. I mean, they are the better team. Although they have been struggling a little bit on offensively, not struggling, that's not the word, but they just been having some mishaps here and there. Like they're not really firing on all cylinders there. Their defense has regressed just a little bit, and it's keeping teams in there. And they obviously can't protect CJ as well as they did last year. He's getting hit a little bit more, so it's rattled him. So he's not the QB he was last year, like blowing people out. And here we have Jacksonville just trying to stay, I guess, relevant. Like they paid their Trevor Lawrence, and that hasn't been working out. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's Doug Peterson. I'm leaning more towards Peterson. I was never a big fan of him as a coach, but some of the blame has to go on Trevor Lawrence as well. It's really a bad year. But I'm gonna lean on the upset here. I'm gonna take Jacksonville. Weird game playing in Duval. Maybe the water affects them as much as they affects the Colts. So probably going against the grain, probably a long shot. But I say the Jaguars eke one out.
You can say, I remember Jacksonville always had a weird sulfur smell. That was always the talk about Jacksonville. It had a weird sulfur smell, and it had probably something to do with the salt that's in the water out in that area. Um, Maybe it's enough to just make everybody feel like they can't breathe out there, they're from Houston. But Nico Collins is a monster. They got monsters on that team, offense and defense. They do have some monsters on it. D'Amico Ryan's is a hell of a coach. Um, but I think with the departure of Doug Peterson, I think that might be the reason why I want to also go for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Jacksonville sees it as a new opportunity and a new beginning to say we can do something more and better. Um, I've seen many times how teams have underperformed with one coach, and then once that person is gone, all of a sudden you know how to play football. Um, Houston has had some mystifying, I think that would be the word I'll use. They've had some mystifying losses this year. Some losses that you're like, how the hell did they lose that? And this could be one of those games where you say, how the hell did they lose that? So yeah, I'm also going to be inclined to go with Jacksonville. I think they get it together for this. At least this one game. It's a division game. You got to be in the A game. You know who you're going against. The team that's potential, the team that is going to go into the playoffs. From your division to represent your division. Maybe you get the Colts in it also, but Jacksonville knows they're not going anywhere, so they have to play spoiler. So when they're playing spoiler, I see that kind of being an advantage to them. So I'm also going to say Jacksonville. Luke.
I'm gonna go Texans on this just because of the fact that the Jaguars don't have CJ Stroud. I mean, Jacksonville has been underperforming like crazy this year. I think it is the coach's sword to fall on with them. And honestly, this has got to be a statement game for Houston. They got to put their flag down and say this is our division and take this. Especially this late in the season, you want to start thinking about preserving your quarterback for the playoffs and getting his body right. So this needs to be a no bullshit, no nonsense. Punch him in the mouth and get your ass out of their game.
For the last game, before I even talk about it, Niners Buffalo. Is that worthy of Sunday Night Football?
No,
Given the options, given the options, I think you'll be fine.
I think it's
Just
fine.
yeah.
I think it's fine. I think going into this season, that would have been an absolute mark that on my calendar kind of game. So absolutely, I think that even though the Niners have not performed the way that we all thought they would have performed, they're currently, I think they might have Thanksgiving in Cabo, but we'll just have to fly back to the States every now and then for a game. Um, but even though they haven't had to act together, I think still the marquee name of Niners and Buffalo is good enough for a Sunday night game. What about Monday night? The Cleveland Browns and the Denver Broncos. Is that really worthy of Monday night?
I mean,
I
if
mean,
Jameson and Mike, maybe.
If you that's true. If you have Jameson on Mike the entire game, this might be worthy of Monday Night Football. But
I mean, it's not the worst one, I guess. At least the Broncos are fighting for a playoff, I guess.
Right.
That's the only narrative. Yeah, that one definitely could have been flexed. Um, Probably I would have gone with the Eagle Baltimore game there, but you can't have them
yeah,
too many times in prime time either. That's the other thing. And
and that's
then
the
I
game.
mean, like it's who you swap them with. I mean, the other games aren't that um interesting, let's say.
Right.
I was going to put Tampa Bay, Carolina on there. We can tell you that much. Um,
Tampa Bay, Carolina. That'd be a blowout. I think Tampa smacks them, so that would be no fun.
And this is why we're going to talk about, which is in the time spot that it's in. It's it's a Fox America's Game of the Week type game. Philly, Baltimore. Yes, I understand we can't have them on Monday Night Football or Sunday Football every week, but I think that was a game that you probably should have it on. Of all the other games, that one probably should have been it. But all 25 on a Sunday, let's get it though. Baltimore, 3-point favorite. 164 money line favorite and 50.5 over under. Then predictions.
Which game we're doing now? Baltimore.
Mm,
Yeah, this one's tough. This one's tough. Philly team that's on fire right now. Lamar just has such a good record against the NFC. It's this one's really a toss-up. Um, I'm gonna have to just lean on the Ravens here. This one, home game. It probably comes and bites me in the ass, but I just really that. It's just giving them the home field advantage because there's really not too much. I feel like Philly's playing very, very well. I would not be shocked that if they can pull off the upset, particularly how Saquon is playing, and they're more willing to ride him out than Baltimore is to ride out Henry. Uh, yeah, I think just Baltimore does just enough. It'll probably be a close game though.
Uh, this is a very good game. This is a very good game to have, and I'm kind of upset that it's at 4:25 on a Sunday, smack dab in the middle of like four other games going on. But I'm gonna ride with the Eagles on this one. Um, it's gonna be the battle of Saquon versus Henry. I think this is one of the. Could we see a Super Bowl preview here? Maybe. Um, I like what the Eagles have been doing. Barkley's been balling out, and Jalen Hurts hasn't had to be that guy. I don't think he's top 10 in even passing yards right now because he hasn't had to be. Lamar Jackson still has to be that guy performing at a 10 week over week, regardless of how good Derrick Henry's playing. Um, on the road, I mean, is it really a road game? At Philly's right there to Maryland. It's probably going to be split 50-50 in that stadium. Um, I'm going to rock with the Eagles on the sure strength that we get a couple tush push touchdowns and Saquon runs amok.
This is probably the best game we can have at this juncture. Um, and the reason why I say that is, yes, you have two really, really damn good quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson going against each other. You got Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, and Saquon is just killing it. Not only that, you even have potentially the two MVP candidates, 1 and 2, going at it also with Lamar and Saquon. Like, what really more can you ask for? Um, both defensively can get the job done. Um, this is a toss-up. And yeah, they're only about an hour from each other at best. Philly to Baltimore, like I said, at best. Um, yeah, it's going to be a phenomenal game. It's going to be in daylight. That's crazy. I mean, it'll end at night, but it's going to start in daylight. That's wild to me. Um, it could be a potential, and I hope it is, a Super Bowl preview. I think it'd be phenomenal if it is. Um, I think we all know who I'm going to go with. The Philadelphia, not playing Baltimore. I wouldn't dare pick Philadelphia over this. I mean, I've been impartial. I have been not as biased to my team this year. I've picked against them. I took my hat off. When I had to do that, but I've picked against my team. But yeah, I think Baltimore does get the job done. I don't know about 3 points. Um, I honestly, if that's gonna be a push because I can see Tuck getting a field goal to end the game. Like I could see it being 27-27 and with no time to go, Tuck kicks one, for the win. Like it's going to be a tight game. It's not going to be a blowout by any stretch or any means. Yeah, Baltimore does have a really good record against the NFC this year. But I just think, against competition makes Baltimore play stronger and play tougher. It's not just when the lights are bright, it's actually when you see a really good dominant team across from them that makes them want to get motivated. So, yeah, I'm going to say Baltimore. It's going to be a tight one. I wouldn't be surprised if Philly wins this game either. I wouldn't be mad if Philadelphia wins this one, to be honest.
Yeah, you would.
Pissed. But I can see it though. I can see either way. But Saquon is electric. I mean, I pray for anybody who's in that stadium to not go to the concession stand or not go to the bathroom, because you have a potential for both sides of the. This is crazy. On both sides, you have potential to see an 80-yard touchdown on both sides. Easy. Like it's as simple as a flash. You really do not want to miss any action in this game. This is a hell of an offense versus offense game. I'm happy to see this. I'm happy to be off to watch it also, so I got to watch it from work. So, but yeah. Any surprises y'all think will happen this week?
Somebody else forgets to call timeout?
Yeah, it'd definitely be that.
Um, for me, in terms of a surprise, maybe it's not much of a surprise. Nah, it's gonna be a surprise. I think Jameis Winston wins the game on Monday, though. I think
That's
Jameis wins.
confidence.
That's look, that man can make run through a brick wall, man. He's that motivational. So yeah, I can see Cleveland winning this game. As bad as they are, and they're bad. They're bad. But I can see them winning the game.
Okay, so you think Jameis has a better chance of winning than the Jets? They're playing Seattle, West Coast team coming to the East Coast.
Man, the Jets are gonna get smacked.
Yeah,
An angry Aaron Rodgers.
Gino's revenge game. Oh, Gino's gonna stick his shit.
they're killing him. They're gonna kill him. Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to be there anymore. Like he's really thinking about next year. He himself is in Cabo. The Jets may not be in Cabo. He's there.
I don't
I
know,
don't know
bro.
why
He keeps on saying he don't want to take medical exams because he don't want to be benched.
look. I feel sorry for Devonta Adams that he got roped into this.
No, I don't feel sorry for him. No, no, no. He
You know,
chose that. That's the second time he chose it. He's like, I'm gonna go play with my friend Derek Carr. Not happy. I'm gonna go play with my friend Aaron Rodgers. Whoops. He's nope, no,
You're
not
right.
happy.
Right quick. Click the link below. FanDuel $50 in-game $50 deposit for new customers only. Also join our Discord. Like, share, subscribe. Tell us we're right, tell us we're wrong. We'll see you next week, week 14. Until then, peace.
That's right.